Hi, I'm Diana Montford, and yes, this is the one, the only, the amazing Diana Montford Show. And my guest is well-known poet, Ms. Lucia Cammarata, who's going to tell us all about her poetry and being Lucia Cammarata and other Lucia Cammarata type things. And we are going to experience her poetry and experience Lucia, and you'll experience me. And we'll have a nice time, you know. And if you're real good, I'll make you feel good. I want your spirits to climb. Okay, the one, the only, super poet, Ms. Lucia Cammarata. Say hello, Lucia.
Hello, Diana. Hello, Lucia.
Yes. Say goodnight, Gracie. Anyway, tell us about your poetry. Stop squeaking your shoes. You're driving me nuts. What do we do? Why write poetry? What's the point?
The point of writing poetry is to please other people, to please yourself, and to please Diana Montford, and to get on TV. After all, how else would I get on TV? I would have to sing and dance, and that would be very difficult. I can't sing, I can't dance, and I'm not Lady Sovereign.
Excuse me, people watch me sing, they hear me dance, so I know how you feel. Okay, what exactly are these poems about?
Well, today's poems are a continuation of consideration about that immortal quality of love. Oh, love, l'amour, c'est l'amour.
Okay, whatever. But now, we do a lot of shows about love poems. I hate love, don't you? No.
But it's inescapable.
Well, ain't it grand? But anyway, so now you're going to...
What a mess. What a mess.
Yes, you're going to read us your love poems, which you love. You love your love poems.
I admire them.
Okay. Well, read
The first
away.
one is called Pursuit.
Yes.
I've been king and I've been queen. I've been half and half. Bounty's boon. Left, right, but never as trite as up and down. Cats sniff dogs who sniff with eager disdain. When will I learn this easy lesson?
Ooh, may I read it? Since I need to read it. Okay. A poem by Lucia Cammarata. It's called Pursuit. I've been king and I've been queen. I've been half and half. Bounty's boon, left, right, but never as trite as up and down. Cats sniff dogs, who sniff with eager disdain. When will I learn this easy lesson? Now, what was that about?
Okay.
Yes.
I've been king and I've been queen.
I can identify, trust me on this one.
I've been half and half.
Shake me well, I taste good, half and half.
Bounty's boon. In other words, we get Bounty's boon when we're all of these things.
Yes, but we're all everything. Nothing that is human is foreign to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Left and right,
Yes.
but never as trite as up and down.
Well, some people like to go down, some like it hot, you know.
Hot, yes, but up and down, come on. That's old hat.
Well, some of us are purists and traditionalists, what can I say?
And cats sniff dogs. Oh, God, yes, they do.
Oh, that is so crude. That is so crude. You mean like cats and dogs sniffing one another's nether regions?
With eager disdain.
Oh, yes, as though, you know, like people in a bar, they're not going to be too eager.
Exactly.
Yes.
When will I learn this easy lesson?
Yes.
In other words, I'm too eager.
So there you go, see?
And
you
I
wag
have
your
learned,
tail?
that's the problem. I mean, I like you and you know it, and that's my problem.
Whatever.
And you know what?
I said, do you wag your tail? This was such a non sequitur.
Well, I cut off my tail.
You cut off your tail?
Yeah, because my tail was giving me so many troubles.
Oh, well, so you're a transspecial. You've cut off your tail.
Well, I am a transspecial. I'm not from this earth entirely.
Oh, I see. No, you're from the Bronx.
Yes.
Yes.
And, you know, the Bronx is a very different place.
I guess.
Okay, next poem.
Next poem.
This is a poem you really like, and yes, you can read it too.
Oh, goody.
Almost. 1. The girl I almost met. I almost met her so many times, so many times. I sat next to her on the bus, then again across on the subway train. Our eyes met once, twice, maybe even 3 times, in one or other crowd. I walked beside her down countless city blocks. Did she ever notice? The girl I almost met. I met her almost in a crowded department store, at the museum, and checking her cell phone for messages, waiting for the light to change. Adjusting the volume on her iPod, or was she just selecting another tune to hear? That was the girl I almost met. 2. Listening to the old chestnut, this bootlegged opera on my not-as-old stereo, this a butterfly. I indulge and pretend, imagining the woman, no, not butterfly. The other woman I'm thinking about. You'll get the picture in a minute. Had big dreams that were thwarted, dashed, kicked to the curb by terrible, tremendous, terrible circumstance. Alone, I feel more for her than ever before. Then I realize the tremendous capacity, the largesse of my imagination.
Okay. Oh, now I get to read it. Okay, let's see. See, I went to acting class and I never get to act anymore, so I asked Lucia if I might read her poems so that I can, frankly, get my acting rocks off. It's been so long, and I so love to get my rocks off. But okay, this is a poem by Lucia Cammarata. It is called Almost. The girl I almost met. I almost met her so many times. So many times. I sat next to her on the bus, then again across on the subway train. Our eyes met once, twice, maybe even 3 times in one or other crowd. I've walked beside her down countless city blocks. Did she ever notice? The girl I almost met, I met her almost in a crowded department store, at the museum, checking her cell phone for messages, waiting for the light to change, adjusting the volume on her iPod. Or was she just selecting another tune to hear? That's the girl I almost met. Part 2. Listening to an old chestnut, this bootlegged opera, not on my not-as-old stereo, this, a butterfly. I indulge and pretend, imagining the woman, no, not butterfly, the other woman I'm thinking about. You'll get the picture in a minute. Had grand dreams that were thwarted, dashed, kicked to the curb by terrible, tremendous, terrible circumstance. Alone, I feel more for her than before and realize the tremendous capacity, the largeness of my imagination. I actually got that one. That was really nice.
Actually, the word is largesse of my imagination.
Okay, the largesse of my imagination. Well, I'm not going to redo it, so that's the way it is.
You wrote it very well. You read it very well. But the thing is, it's interesting the emphasis you put on it and the emphasis I put on it.
Well, yeah, different interpretations.
Different interpretations. You make it sound so melancholy.
Which one, the first part or the second part?
Both parts. You make it sound so much more melancholy than I do.
Well, I'll tell you why. I was thinking of my dead mother when I read it. I'm using my emotional memory.
That's very interesting that you, that's what you bring to it.
Yeah.
It's very
Well,
interesting.
you know, I mean...
I bring to it a whole different
You bring a romantic thing to it. I bring a kind of
melancholic,
mournful sense
mournful
of loss. Yeah.
loss. I bring a sense of loss to it also, but that fleeting loss. That loss...
well, better luck next time, loss.
Yeah, basically a fleeting loss. Like I saw somebody and they vanished.
Well, read us another one.
Okay, this is
While I
called,
cough.
This is called Decisions. Which mind shall I use today? Shall I use the bipolar one or the borderline one? And what is it on the border of? 2 warring Eastern European countries vying for East or West affection? Or is it both in love, both at the same time? And yes, you can read this.
Oh, good. A different interpretation. Okay. A poem by Lucia Cammarata, Decisions. Which mind shall I use today? Shall I use the bipolar one or the borderline one? And what is it on the border of? Two warring Eastern European countries vying for East or West's affections? Or is it both in love, both at the same time? I'm not really an intelligent person. I just play one on television. But anyway, so tell me, what exactly did that one mean?
Well, it's a play on borderline personality, bipolar.
No, I understood that.
It's also a play on what we think about East and Western philosophies.
Obviously, yes.
Eastern and Western.
Oh, I'm smarter than I thought I was.
Of course you are.
Of course. Well, I would have to be. Otherwise, I couldn't,
Moderate a TV show.
or flush a toilet or anything, yeah.
And you flush them so well.
I'm so damn earthy. This is just such a disgrace. Yes. Well, and? See, I went to Catholic school, so in protest, I'm really crude. What can I say? Because the nuns don't like it when you're really crude. Anyway, you were saying.
You know what?
What?
I'm calling up Sister Mary George. But
Sister Mary George, are you watching? We're both former students of yours. If you're out there, hi, Sister Mary George.
Sister
When
Mary
Irish
George.
eyes are smiling, they made us sing that to her on her birthday.
On her birthday, that's true. But you know what? Sister Mary George would be very happy with us because of our haircuts.
Yes, well, yeah.
She would be very pleased.
She probably
with-
has the same haircut.
That's why, because underneath her coat, she had the same damn haircut we have.
You never know.
I know. I saw her hair once.
Did you really?
I really
You
did.
lucky thing. I never saw her hair.
You never saw her hair?
No.
Her coat once shifted.
Oh, did you enjoy it?
I loved it.
I'll bet.
Why
She
do you
was
think
so
I am
handsome.
the way
I
I
hope
am
you're still
today?
handsome, Sister Mary George.
She had the most beautiful skin.
And the most beautiful blue eyes, I swear.
She did.
Okay,
She had the
enough
most-
about
Sister
nuns
Mary
we have known,
George.
yes.
It's just about Sister Mary George. It's not about nuns in general.
Well,
The gods of J&B. Her hair was much more beautiful in photographs. The gods of J&B. The groin of the woman pulsed, pumped with feudal masculinity. The gods of J&B. Her hair was reminiscent of an old telenovela. The gods of J&B. The sexual falsehoods of our truer heads. The gods of J&B.
my turn.
Of course.
Thank you. The Gods of J&B by Lucia Cammarata. Her hair was much more beautiful in photographs. The gods of J&B. The groin of the woman pulsed, pumped, with feudal masculinity. The gods of J&B. Her hair was reminiscent of an old telenovela. The gods of J&B. The sexual falsehoods of our truer heads. The gods of J&B. So what was the emphasis in your case and in mine?
Actually,
You like your reading better, okay.
no, we both read it pretty much the same, to tell you the truth, on this one. But you pronounced telenovela better.
Telenovela, I'm Spanish. Okay, so more. We want
Okay.
more. The people demand more.
The people demand more.
Yes, we want poetry and roses, yes. The people want more.
Wine and roses and chocolate.
Bread and roses.
This is called
Famous
Petite
socialist cry of the turn of the 20th century. And a famous publication.
Bandiera rossa, bandiera rossa.
Okay.
Avanti popolo, avanti popolo.
Is that Italian or?
It's the Italian socialist song.
Oh, I see.
Actually, I think it was communist.
Oh, well.
This is called Petite Annoyance. The fly lit on my middle finger, on the middle finger of my right hand, the hour, the empress, and the moon. The fly lit on my left shoulder's blade, the hour, the emperor, and the lovers. I have flour on yesterday's clothes. A perfect blueberry pie rests in the refrigerator, except it isn't. I needed the dough rather than rolling it.
You needed that dough.
Rather than
But get
rolling.
that dough or else no dice.
Rather
as
than
Marilyn
rolling
said.
it.
Yes. Okay, same poem, different take. Petite Annoyance by Lucia Cammarata. The fly lit on the middle finger of my right hand, the hour, the empress, and the moon. The fly lit on my left shoulder's blade, the hour, the emperor, and the loveress. I have flour on yesterday's clothes. A perfect blueberry pie rests in the refrigerator, except it isn't. I needed the dough rather than rolling it. See, I need the dough. Know what I mean, boys?
It's full of
She's to
innuendo.
be pitied, not censured. Yes.
It's filled with innuendo.
Yes. Italian suppositories, innuendo, yes.
Well, I am Italian.
Sometimes you can be a real suppository, too, but that's another story. A lead one. But anyway.
No, that's my overcoat that I wear. I put it on other people.
I see. Okay. So that's not it for the poems, is it?
There's one more.
Oh, one more. Okay.
I like that poem I like the last two a lot.
Yeah. I like about I Almost Met the Girl.
The Girl I Almost Met's a good one, too.
Yeah.
They're more lighthearted in the second set.
Okay, so.
Okay, this is called Nothing. It has no title, but you'll get the idea. You ready?
Ready?
Okay. Shake and flake of brutal men, my bent spine, a lust for milkshakes. Shall I count the ways I worry, counting a thing I do well, and so very often? The fan whirs itself away, but it is not cool. It is 2:31 a.m., and the day's heat has already ignited. Or is it that troubling time of life when it imposes its pausing time? Water bottles sit warming in the cool cast by the mediocre bedside light. How I love this lamp that I chose and transported home one Saturday, all on my own. Faraway whims wane as fantastic desires supplanted by concrete passion. Another Saturday night spent eating and drinking water. It is a shadow cast by the light that's troublesome, objectionable, not the light itself. That is rather appetizingly appealing, or it could be put chiquissimo, and that is all that is being said on these topics.
Okay.
And that is the last poem.
Do I get to read it?
Of course you do.
To give my own interpretation, yes. See, if I had an acting job, I wouldn't read poems, but I don't, so I'm reading poems. I hope you're not finding this dull. You're not, are you? Anyway.
We don't care.
Well.
Suffer.
No, we care. A little. Yeah, fuck it, man. Maybe we don't. Okay. This is a poem that has no title. It is Untitled by Lucia Cammarata. Shake and flake of brutal men, my bent spine, a lust for milkshakes. Shall I count the ways I worry? Counting a thing I do well, and so very often. The fan whirs itself away, but it is not cool. It is 2:31 a.m. and the day's heat has already ignited. Or is that the troubling time of life when it imposes its pausing time? Water bottles sit warming in the pool cast by the mediocre bedside light. How I love this lamp that I chose and transported home one Saturday, all on my own. Faraway whims wane, as fantastic desire is supplanted by concrete passion. Another Saturday night spent eating and drinking water. It's the shadow cast by the light that's troublesome, objectionable, not the light itself. That is rather appetizingly appealing. Or could it be put, chiquissimo? And this is all that is being said on these topics. Well, I don't know how I did with that one, but I certainly hope I got the part. Thank you very much. I'll leave my picture and resume. Anyway, here you go.
And those are all the poems I'm planning on reading tonight, unless you insist on an encore.
Well, why don't we talk about poetry?
Okay, let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk. I always get the last word. Let's talk. Yes.
Okay. You liked Almost,
Yeah, I did.
and you like J&B, The Gods of J&B.
Well, yeah, I like that. But I like Almost better.
Because it has a longing quality to it.
Exactly. And frustration is my life. What can I tell you? Yeah, because also, as I've said, I used my emotional memory, and to give it a certain impetus, I thought of my dead mother, and I'm so bizarre. Sometimes I see a woman on the street and I stare for a second. Oh my God. And it's not my mother, and my mother's been dead since 1971. You'd think I'd get used to the idea. But every now and then I see a woman who, my mother looks sort of like Joan Collins. I, stare. And some poor woman in the street go, oh my God, what? Nothing. You look like someone who died 40 years ago. Have a nice day.
What year did your mother die?
1971. I don't want to go there.
Okay.
But anyway, but I often use a sense of loss that produced in my thesping, in my acting, such as my acting is. I've been doing a talk show now for 20 years. I haven't been on the boards in these many years, and probably never will again unless some nice producer out there wants to give me a job. Hey. But anyway, so I started producing this show because I was up for a play, and they swore the part was mine, and then it wasn't. And I was so pissed and disappointed. I thought, well, I'm not waiting around to get a job, forget it. So I started this talk show. So there you are. Stop clicking those shoes, you're driving me fucking nuts, please. She said with great feminine gentility and reticence. Yes, what?
What character was it who clicked their heels twice?
It was Dorothy. There's no place like home, which is not the same as a house, but that's another story.
Or studio.
Yes. A man in the home is worth two in the street.
Right.
But I recycle Mae West lines. This is very sad. Anyway, tell me more. Yes?
I'm thinking of more.
Why do you wear a bone through your nose?
What adornment? It accentuates my lip line, but really it's
Ever hear of lip liner?
It really is adornment. It really is adornment. How do you think I would look with lavender eyeliner?
Like you with lavender eyeliner. I mean, no, it would look good because your eyes have a greenish tinge.
You think it would look good?
I think it would. Has it come to this? We're discussing lavender eyeliner on this show that I worked so hard to make happen.
I was just curious because somebody got me lavender eyeliner, and I want to know if I should pull it into my environment.
I think you should. Just don't use it on your nose or anything.
I'm not going to use it on my nose.
So how did you decide to get a bone as opposed to a nose ring or something?
Because nose rings look like cows.
With my apologies to people with nose rings out there. Thank you for alienating some of my audience. That was wonderful of you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I know cows are sacred.
Not at McDonald's, but okay.
Well, people who have nose rings should stay away from McDonald's.
Yes. I love everyone, ring or no ring, bone or no bone.
To everyone I've ever met, to everyone who reads this, to everyone who doesn't,
to everyone who has a boner, I love you all. I am such a dirty blonde redhead, I swear. I used to be a stand-up comic.
Would take the ruler and slap your
Remember when I
hand.
was doing comedy in New Jersey at Main Street USA, and that party of school teachers or secretaries said of my comedy, oh, she's filthy, and they got up to leave, and I had to apologize to them from the stage. I remember that was so sick. This was like in 1987, something like that. It was a long time
ago. It was awful.
Yes. Oh, I didn't care. Fuck that.
That audience was so provincial, so parochial,
and I mean, like even for
so
New Jersey,
backward.
this was like, huh?
They were so backward, so provincial, so parochial. They were so.
Although, admittedly, I do have a filthy potty mouth, but that's me, you know.
They were.
It was when I got to the line, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do, that they, she's filthy. Oh, we're leaving.
I remember a joke you had. You don't have to wear a condom, but leave your socks on. Do you remember that joke?
I remember a joke my acting teacher, Gabe Abelson, gave me. I did this sort of Mae West inspired act, and he said, okay, here's a joke for you, and he wrote this for me. He said, the man asks me, well, what's your favorite position? And I say, well, how about you on top, me and your wallet? Now, I never saw the humor in that, but that used to break up the club audiences.
It cracks
What's funny
everyone
about
up.
that? I don't think it's so funny. I don't get it's illogical for one thing. I do not fit in someone's wallet, but anyway.
It's a typical hoe joke. It's a typical girl hoe joke.
See, the reason I did hoe comedy is that I didn't want to be like those people who say, oh, I'm so plain I can't get a date. So the only other choice, way back when in the antediluvian 80s, was to play this sort of bimbo.
Saucy hoe joke.
Right.
Saucy hoe.
Whore Madonna, that's what you could play. That was it. There was no in-between, no realistic middle ground, you know. You had to play either this outrageous tramp or this poor soul who can't get a date. Oh, let me tell you what men have done to me, that kind of thing.
Do you remember we walked
and I'm not going
to
to
that
tell you what men
comedy
have
club?
done to me. You'd love
Do you
it.
remember we walked to the
Yes.
comedy club?
Did we?
We walked there.
Well, not from Manhattan. We walked from the bus.
No, we walked from your apartment.
Oh, right, yeah, but I lived in Hackensack at the time, so it was like only a few blocks, so it
It
wasn't
was
bad.
more than a few blocks.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, well, no, it's New Jersey. There are no taxis on the street. What could we do?
Diana, it was a despicable night.
It was awful, I admit it. But, well, okay, so I never
It
went
was an
there again.
experience.
It was
an
look, it's, what, 25 years later, we're talking about it now.
And we're laughing about it.
Yes.
We're laughing about it. It was an experience. I wore a suit, which I always do.
A man's suit, a tailored suit, and you
We're
can
lucky
imagine
we-
how well that went over in Hackensack, New Jersey, 25 years ago, yes.
We're lucky we
We
got
were so
out of there
popular,
alive.
what can I say?
We're
The
lucky.
whore and the dyke, hello, here we are. You don't like one, you like the other, right? Something for everyone, serpent size.
We're lucky we got out of there alive.
Yes, homicidal file clerks hated us. They found us just too, let's just say we were too rich for their blood.
We're lucky we're still sitting here. We are so lucky. They really, really despised us.
Good. Listen, being despised by the despicable is a good thing. My guest has been, I just got the signal, we're leaving here. Wow, interpretation for the deaf. My guest has been Lucia Cammarata. Contact her at luciacammarata.com. I'm Diana Montford. I love you. I will see you next time. Thanks for reminiscing with me and sprinting down memory lane. I love you, and I'll see you next time. And you take really good care of yourself, because you mean a lot to me. Bye.
And thank you, Diana.
My pleasure. See you. Love you. Bye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, all of you, for putting up with us.
Yes.